Good evening and welcome to London Ascending, a vampire venue. Tonight we have a scene that is a social get together of two of the clan of princes, the Blue Bloods, the clan Ventrue, whatever your denomination of these people are. We start our scene in a bar, it's not a restaurant. It is a lounge or a bar for the up and coming, for the many businessmen and women who travel to the city and have hectic lives. They sometimes need a bar and a very refined place where they can relax and have their dinners and discussions about who to buy out of what business and where to invest what and all such things. But among all these people, there are those of them that lord over them in secret. One of these is a young woman. She looks a little underage to be here. She looks like she's maybe 18, 19. She's very good looking. She's really attractive. But she looks young. Normally people here would be there like mid to late 20s, maybe the early 30s and upwards. But she looks definitely young. But she's just sitting with two men, who are not saying much. She's on her phone and she's checking something out on her smartphone, just looking at it. And looks around and she seems to be waiting for someone.
Right, and then I'm assuming that's my bit.
That is your cue.
Right, okay. So, through the door, a gentleman walks through. Rather young in appearance, looks to be between the ages of about 25, 26. And he's got a very well-kept beard and rather polished up hair, wearing a rather fine Italian suit in the colors of navy blue, with a white dress shirt, some nice golden cufflinks, and a black thin tie, I believe is what the slim fit ties. Very nice and sharp in appearance, as he always likes to come across. Looks relatively calm, cool, and collected. He scans the bar, looking for the person who'd sent him the invite to come to this lovely establishment.
After a little, the young woman will just put down her phone and just get up, she has a smile on her face, and she just comes up, bows to you, and just she looks over to the table. Good evening, Laura.
Offers his hand out freely, with a smile on his face. Well, hello, Laura. My name's Thorben. It's nice to meet you.
Likewise. Please come, sit down.
Certainly.
And the two men will just, as soon as they see Laura turn around and go over towards the table, they will just get up, and one seems to sit at a table a little away, but not too far away, and another seems to go to near the entrance and just find a seat there. You do not need to roll or anything.
It's a private security force.
It's some type of backup for her,
right.
In some way. Please, sit down. I'm very pleased to meet you. As I said, my name is Laura Solholm. I have of course, been introduced to the Queen, and she looks around. She has obviously sat in a place where there is no one really around, and she just says, "Hmm, well, I do believe I've seen you in Elysium once or twice, but I must say I am somewhat new to the city."
I see. Yes, I've been here for quite some time, and after the unfortunate events about what is it, 50, 60 years ago now. I think we're actually on 70. Yes, after those unfortunate events, I made it more of a. I felt I owed it to my sire, who's unfortunately passed that particular evening, to maintain the appearance of what he stood for.
Hmm. You are an honorable man. You are an honorable man, it seems.
Well, that's why he took me under his wing.
Well, I can already assume that you have brought our clan much honor.
I like to think so. Yes, there was a. It became more of an apparent duty following that evening, considering the split that had taken place because an exiled brat decided to return and lay an unfair claim to the throne.
Well, I'm quite sure that such affronts to what is good and just will be dealt with now, then, and as always, swiftly.
Yes. Well, if I see him, the delivery of that will surely be a swift one.
I'm glad to have such an honorable man as part of my clan. I'm honored.
So, what brings you to London?
Well, to be, well, I've, London is a great, great city of the world, and it took me a while to get a proper foothold here. Something that would befit a person of my stature.
Mm.
I would not waltz in like a beggar. I would want to present myself in the city when I had something that would befit my status in this our tower, our Camarilla.
Right. No, that's fair enough. So, what is it that you do?
Well, I dabble in things here and there, make make a living, quite a good one. I am looking to invest even more than I already have in, well, do you know of, well, some of the many advances that have been in the medical field in the last 40 years?
I've been keeping my tabs on it.
It is a ripe world for quite not only monetary but important influences and investments. And that is mainly where my focus lies at the moment.
I see. I've been making my own way through the city effectively. I've got a couple of small little private security firms at the moment, and eventually I will try to make a private military, but that dream might be a little too far fetched, falling upon the morals and principles of others. It goes as far as you want, but some
Well,
people have bigger issues than they let on.
well, that is true, and I do not believe that it will be like private armies of old. I remember some such back in the day. Actually, quite a few, to come to think of it. No, but there are these things, what are they called? Mercenary companies? Mercenary.
Yes, most of the ones I've run into have absolutely no moral standing whatsoever.
Well, that would be at least, well, it would not be an army by itself. It would quite clearly fit into this modern world we live in.
It would. However, they sell their services to the highest bidder, and when you live as long as we do, and you have the money that we do, you don't really need to think of that.
Right. To the moral understanding. You surprise me. You remind me of some people I have met quite some time ago. Noble individuals who would set their honor above most in this world. This pleases me greatly.
Well, I'm glad. It seems that we might get on quite decently.
I truly hope so. Our clan is one of the most, well, fervent and solid pillars of the Camarilla.
Yes. However, with the events as of late, by late I mean the last 100 or so years, we've sort of had a bit of a split in strength. There are those who sought to remain in power, though it was not their right, and they broke tradition and decided to bring shame upon the clan.
And we must deal with them.
Yes, the issue must be rectified.
Quite so. Well, I'm. It's good to finally be able to relax and relax with one of my clan that has some of the wisdom of age, as I do.
Quick question, because I forget these bits. I know that vampires can't usually eat food unless they have one of those merits that allows them to sort of hold it for a while and then go and take care of it. Does the same happen with liquids such as drinks?
Yes,
Right, okay, so drinking is...
unless it is mixed with blood, then it will go down easier because there's blood in it.
Right, okay.
You can, I mean, if it's half and half, then you can probably keep it down because it's half of it is blood. So, yeah.
Okay, no, fair enough. I'll have to make sure I invest in my own little club.
I'm so terribly sorry. Would you like a? And she looks around, looks over to the guy who's not sitting too far, and just nods to him. Would you like a drink?
Oh, most certainly. Never adverse to a nice, refreshing beverage.
Well, I'm terribly sorry. I feel I speak out of turn. You see, I want to be a good hostess, but I would not be so rude to ask for your preference. But if you would have it, if I was to host you for another evening, I would be glad to require something for you. But, well,
Well, one of my favorites at the moment is what they refer to as a Bloody Mary. Always cracks me up with that name. But it's also easier to hide in plain sight.
all right. And she will just the her the person who's with her will produce a fairly concealed, but not too flashy, like a canteen or something like that.
Mm. Sort of like a flask sort of canteen thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
She will just hand it to you and just says, I do not. It is the best I could do at such short notice. This will may not sustain you, but it will taste. hopefully to your liking.
I would go ahead and unscrew the lid of the canteen, and of course raise it in a nice little sort of courting style, and take a nice long drink from the canteen.
Like human blood. Gasp. Um, um, it will probably not mix with your particular tastes, but as the Ventrue curse is, you can drink it, no problem, but you will not gain substance from it. You will still have the same hunger as before.
Right. No, that's fine.
But Laura is just looks at you. I am so very pleased you like it. I would have brought a gift, but I shall bring it.
Gifts are not necessary. I have plenty of own personal possessions to keep me company. I'd hate to waste more space with things. Although I do appreciate the gesture.
Well, I'm glad you like it. For the small token that it is, I believe that substance, or at least a gesture of substance, should be offered to anyone who would host. Anyone else, especially of our kind.
Yes, most certainly.
So, you've been here
I have
a long time.
been here for some time, yes. I was raised within this country. I was born within this country. Embraced within this country, and then I would say in my younger years, but after about 100 or 200 years or so, back in the 1800s, I did a bit of traveling, got around, tried to see a bit more of the world and see it unfold. And then I came back to England in the early 1900s, and have been here ever since.
Truly. Well, I'm quite sure I can learn a lot from you. She smiles. He just nods. Well, I'm. She just looked up at her phone and just puts it down. It just says, "So, I do not believe I've heard it from. Well, I've heard the usual, but do you know if of our illustrious Primogen would see us all at some time in the near future?"
I would most certainly assume so, seeing as he is my brother.
Oh, brother of blood?
Yes. Sired by the same man.
Oh, I'm truly honored then. To hold such noble heritage. I'm flattered. Well, I will hope to see you soon.
Most certainly.
You understand, it was pleasant. I wish I could spend more time here, but I have quite a few things to see to.
No, that's perfectly okay.
And she will get up and she'll just say, "I thank you very much for taking the time."
No, the pleasure is most certainly all mine.
She will bow, or she will curtsy actually deeply. She will just thank you once again, and she will just look to the man accompanying her, and he will just follow her, essentially.
Right.
And you can see that the other guy also follows out the building as they leave.
Right. Excellent.
And with that, we will just end our scene. Thank you very much, players, for playing, and watchers for watching. Good night.